Hello, fellow writers. Just a few words today on paragraph construction, everyone's favorite topic next to thesis statements. So what's important to know about body paragraphs? So when we're using the term body paragraph, this means all of the paragraphs that make up your paper, excluding the introduction or introductory paragraph or paragraphs, and the concluding paragraphs. So everything else in between, in other words, more or less the bulk of your paper. Your paragraphs help build the case for your thesis statement. So each paragraph should help support your claim that you've set out in the thesis statement. And in the other video, we talked about thesis statement and how it's a claim that needs some backup, it needs some proof, it needs some explaining. So the paragraphs, the body paragraphs, help explain, help make your case for your thesis statement. And they are actually expected to have a certain structure. So your paragraph can't just be sort of in any format. It needs to follow a particular structure that meets academic expectations. Sorry for having to impose structure here. And of course, as I said, they are the bulk of your paper. So it's really important that this part of the paper is also well structured and flows together easily with your thesis statement. So how do we put them together? How should my paragraphs be structured? So way back when, there's a lot of little devices to remember as to how to construct a paragraph. But one of the popular ones these days is that paragraphs should follow a T structure. And this is T is an acronym, TEA. And I'll show you what that means. So T stands for topic sentence. The topic sentence is the first sentence in each paragraph. And it both supports the thesis and forms the backbone of your paper. So we talked about in the other video a thesis statement possibly being something like Yael was forced to kill Sisera in order to preserve her own life. So that is the central claim of the paper. Now, a subclaim is something that sort of helps you flesh that out or explains like, well, why is that the case? So your topic sentence could be something like Yael's husband Heber's alliance with Israel's enemies put their life in danger. So that could be kind of a topic sentence for a paragraph where you're sort of spelling out why having Sisera come into Yael's tent was something very dangerous for her and something where she was perhaps forced to kill Sisera. So you have to set that out in your body paragraphs. And I don't know if you've ever tried this little technique before, but sometimes when people say, when they give you a very long academic book to read, and let's say it's 10:30 at night and you're already getting pretty sleepy, but you know you really need to get this reading done for class the next day. I don't know if you ever heard this hint, but many people have said, well, just read the first sentence of each paragraph. At least do that, and you'll get the gist of what is going on in this particular reading. So there is some method to this madness in that the first paragraph, the first statement of each paragraph really should set out the central ideas of the paper. So if you take kind of one thing I've had students do sometimes when they've been confused about this is to open up a new file, cut and paste the topics, cut and paste their thesis statement, and then copy and paste. I should say copy and paste, not cut and paste. Make a copy of the thesis statement and make a copy of the first sentence of each body paragraph and just kind of lay it all out there as sort of an outline. And then I ask them whether that collection of statements more or less spells out what's happening in the paper. And sometimes it does, and if so, fantastic. And sometimes it's very enlightening to students because they go through this process of pulling out the first statement of every paragraph and they see, oh, I really have a lot of problems with the construction of my paragraph. My topic statement really has nothing to do with the thesis directly, or maybe my topic statement of the paragraph isn't really what the paragraph is about. It's a sort of a transition statement, or I don't know, it's doing something else. So this may be a technique to help you make sure that your topic sentences are really clear and that they are connected in some way to your thesis. The topic sentence should cover, sort of again like an umbrella, it should cover everything that will be discussed in the paragraph. So if your paragraph is starting to waver and talk about other things that are not set out by or covered by the topic sentence, then chances are you need to do some restructuring in your paper, or probably just need to start another paragraph or move some stuff around to make it make more sense. So we move from T to E. So E is evidence. For this paper, your evidence would be that a quote from the biblical text or a reference to the biblical text in some way to show what you're talking about, or maybe to some particular commentary or another work that you want to quote. Then we move on to analysis. So you start with your topic, you have your evidence, and then you analyze what your evidence has said. So don't just put a quote in the paper and expect the quote to sort of speak for itself. Kind of flesh out a little bit what is going on in the quote, or how the quote relates to the important point in the paragraph that you're trying to make. So what are the implications of what you presented, and then analyze what the quote has said. So if you follow this TEA structure, I think overall your paragraphs will be will flow much better. They will be easier to read, and they will really support your paper well and help you to have a successful paper, a successful exegesis. So that's really it. Think about T structure and let me know if you have any questions. Hope your paper writing is going well, and have a great day. Bye-bye.